In this lesson, we're going to see how to form the present perfect tense and how we use the present perfect tense in sentences. So let's start with how to form the present perfect tense. So with the subjects I, you, we, and they, we use the helping verb have, then past participle. So what's past participle? So if a verb is a regular verb, we just add ed. But if it's an irregular verb, you have to memorize the past participle of the verb. For example, eat becomes eaten. So he, she, it, we use helping verb has, then past participle. And if we make a negative sentence, we add not to the helping verb. So we can say haven't, or we can write haven't, then past participle. And he, she, it, we add not to the has, it becomes hasn't, then past participle. So here we have to be careful. In the simple past sentences, when we make a negative sentence, we change the verb to the base verb. For example, if we say I played, we say I didn't play, so there is no ed. But in the present perfect tense, we're still keeping the past participle. And he, she, it hasn't, past participle. And same thing happening in the question too. When we make the question sentences, we take the have and has helping verb to the beginning of the sentence, then subjects, then past participle. So have I played, still we use the past participle, not the base verb. But in the simple past tense, we say did you play, so we use the base form of the verb. So has, he, she, it, past participle. So where we use the present perfect tense, sometimes for many students it's confusing, the difference between simple past tense and present perfect tense. So something happened before, but time is not important. So what does it mean? Something happened before, of course in the simple past also something happened before, but here time is not important. But in the simple past, time is very important. So in the simple past, we have to focus when we did the action. But here, we don't care about the time. We just focus the activity. For example, here, I have read this book before. So here, I'm focusing that I have read this book. But if the time is important, the question is changing to the simple past. When did you read it? You see, that's the main difference between those two tense. And the answer is, of course, I read it last year, 2 days ago, last week. Those are all simple past tense. Another example. Have you watched Tom Cruise's last movie? So here, we're focusing if you watched that Tom Cruise last movie, not the time, when did we watch that movie. So the important thing is if you watched Tom Cruise last movie. So I haven't. So here there are some topics that where we're using the simple present perfect tense. I'm sorry. So the first thing is experience. What's experience? What we have done in our life until now. For example, here, I have never eaten sushi in my life. So, have you been to London? So, we just wanna learn if you have been to London. So, when did you go there, or if you didn't go there, doesn't matter. We're just focusing if you have been to London. Have you seen that movie before? I have already seen that movie. So I watched that movie in some times in the past, but it doesn't matter. The time is not important. So I'm just saying I have already seen that movie. I have never been to Mexico. So let's go to the second here, somebody or something changing over time. This is, what does it mean? Something is changing over time. I have really improved my English since I started this language school. So in the past, I started this language school, but from that time to the now, I have really improved. You know, there is something changing. Maybe when I started this school, my English was not good, but now I have really improved my English. So this is something is changing. Or technology has changed the way we communicate. Okay, so technology is always changing. But here, what I say is technology has changed the way we communicate. When did it change? We don't care. So it's like there is something changing over time. That's the important thing. We cannot use simple past tense here. We cannot say technology change, because we don't say like technology change in 2012 or 2010. We're just saying technology has changed the way we communicate. So here, the third one, repeated actions at different times. So here, something is happening in different times, but still time is not important. Just happened in some places, sometimes in the past. So here, I have watched that movie 4 times so far. So when did I watch the movie? We don't care about this. What we care about here is I have watched that movie 4 times, many times. That's what I'm telling you. I have watched that movie. I'm not saying I watched that movie in last week or 2 years ago. How many times have you fell in love in your life? Here, another example. So when did you fall in love? We don't focus that. We're just saying how many times. So, but here the tense is changing. When did you fell in love for the first time? Oh, here this something is different. So you can say, the first time I fell in love in when I was in high school, or in college, whatever you say. So that time is important, but here time is not important. And the last topic is using present perfect tense with non-action verb. So what's non-action verb? It's like static verb. You don't see the action. With this verb, with the action verb, let's first this sentence. I am playing basketball. This is an action verb. So I am playing basketball. How long have I been playing basketball? I have been playing basketball for 2 hours. If you mention about how we are doing something, 2 hours or like 1 week, doesn't matter. We that time we're using present perfect present perfect continuous tense. So the main difference between present tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense is, one is we just mentioning what we are doing, but if you mention about how long we're doing something, we're using present perfect tense. But with the non-action verb, we cannot use ing. So we say I know him, right? So we don't say I am knowing him for, let's say, 2 years or something, right? So we don't use I am knowing him. We just say I know him. That's why when I say I know him, and if I want to mention how long do I know him, so I am using present perfect tense, and then I say I have known him since my childhood. Okay, but we cannot say I have been knowing him since my childhood, because of the verb, non-action verb. Here, very important. With the action verb, we can use ing. We say I am playing basketball. I have been playing basketball for 2 years. But with non-action verb, we don't use the present perfect continuous or present continuous tense. Those are all incorrect sentences. We say I know him, I have known him since my childhood, and the difference between those two sentences is here I just say I know him, that's it. But here, how long do I know him? The time is like how long do I know him? So I say since my childhood, then we say I have known him since my childhood.